Hey everybody, this is Joe. I'm here in Houston. This is Buttercup. He is co-hosting today's video. I am in Houston. I have a cottage butterfly garden, cottage style butterfly garden. I'm in zone 9B, and this is the very first week in October. I have been gone for a couple of weeks. It has been as hot as it could possibly have been while I was gone here at the end of September and the beginning of October. And so I really have not done anything. Of course, I got off an airplane and began to weed immediately, but I also came home to everything has sprouted in the gravel. So I came home to a lot of work to be done, but I wanted to give you a little walk around. You're kind of seeing it almost as I am seeing it for the first time. So the thing that stunned me the most, this is a palafox. That is a native Texas wildflower, really. And it doesn't go everywhere, but look how sweet that is. Isn't that a wonderful little flower? And this plant has been growing here. You can see it's pretty woody and pretty big. It's been in this pot. It's just, showed up in the pot. I did not put it there. I had bought one and put it in the garden last year, and it died in the winter. But it's obviously a seed got in here, and it has had so many flowers. I only have one complaint, which is they don't finish well, meaning that the flower, the petals, once they have gone over and turned brown, don't fall off, right? And so you have sort of, unless you're gonna deadhead all the time, it's not gonna look, the whole thing doesn't look like this all at once. I would deadhead, except I'm kind of new to this plant and I don't know whether that would be a useful thing to do, but also I want these seeds, and if I'm letting the seeds ripen, that means I'm not deadheading. I want the seeds because there is a meadow out at Camp Allen where I have another garden that I'm growing, and there's a meadow out there that got mowed full of palafox while it was in bloom last year. And so I am going to save some seeds so I can maybe hopefully get it to reseed, because they mowed it before it set seed. And so that means this year there aren't any flowers out there. So I'm saving that for me, but I don't need a whole garden of this. I just need a couple little puffballs. I might I'll put some out there and we'll see what happens, but I don't want to be overrun. Anyway, enough about palafox in a pot. Of course, the amazing thing happening, as always this summer, has been the gomphrena. And it has self-seeded, so I pull up some here and there, but I have let it kind of fill this space in. What usually is here in the spring is fennel, which I have for butterflies, but it got hot and most of the fennel keeled over. I have a little bit of it right here that's doing well, and a couple that are coming up from seed. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is my first year, successful year. This is spicy globe basil. I do not cut this into this shape. I think this is 2 plants. Here's another one here and a scruffy one here, but look how pretty. Isn't that wonderful? And the bees love it, and you can cook with it. It smells fantastic. You could certainly trim it. A lot of this needs to be deadheaded. I can certainly trim that back into keep it in a ball shape, and it'll bloom all over again. But I'm so excited about how cute that looks. I just love it. This is another basil. This is Thai basil, which has a little purple flower, and it needs deadheading. And then these chives, which I've been so excited about and thought they were going to be little pink puffballs, all turned out to be white. So I think these are maybe garlic chives instead of sort of traditional chives with a pink flower. But I do love, look at this little combination all in a place. Here's a pretty gomphrena. Here's a verbena bonariensis, and there's a little chive. And I think they look really sweet all together like that. And then just random stuff out here. It's all kind of a mess. It's just been neglected for a lot of the summer, and certainly for the last 2 weeks. Here's another fall obedient plant. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? That is native to Texas. I love that so much. So pretty. And then climb back here a little bit. This wonderful, beautiful stuff. That is a Duranta, also native to Texas. And it's just been amazing. And then I was looking out here before we left. You see this thing right here, this giant thing? That, my friends, is a weed. I think it's a hackberry, but yeah, it got really tall and I was like, what's that out there? Oh, look at this little guy. I hope you will take a look. I don't know if you watch the shorts that I make sometimes, but I have been in England. There's Miss Doubtfire. Hello, do you need to be in? Hello. I don't know if you've watched. I have been in Wales and I have been in England and I have seen some really, really beautiful gardens. And so I made a lot of shorts showing off some of those gardens. Here's my holding area, taken very well taken care of by my house sitter and daughter. And so I've got my favorite salvia, Mystic Spires, and then of course over here I've got the native salvia. Let's see if I can find you one. Hi, Butters. The little native salvia, Veronaceae. And then this, which I'm excited, I'm just waiting for it to cool off. This is Gulf of Vervain, which is a native verbena. There's the girl. Hi, sweet pea. Hi, sweetie. Oh, some cleanup crew just landed on me. See if I can get that ladybug off. Whew, there we go. I've got some awesome milkweed. This is aquatic milkweed. Look at, trouble. Look at the pods. Seed pods, amazing. There's a tussle over there between the new kitty and the remaining kitty. Did she tell you what for? Mrs. Doubtfire 1, Buttercup 0. Okay, y'all. I know I keep talking about this, but it has gotten twice as big as it was in the last month. Look at this. This is Mexican hat. Hi, did she beat your butt? Oh, so sad. This thing has just exploded so beautifully, and I keep cutting back and giving it more room. I want it to puff out, and it's doing it. But look at all the new growth and little buds on it. And it's just, I had no idea that a Mexican hat, which is a native wildflower, would act like this in a garden. It's amazing. This whole area, I am rethinking. I've let it get overtaken because everything under here is not doing well. And so I'm just letting this sort of suppress some weeds and kill it off a little bit. This is a grass under here that has been so beautiful for so many years, and it was just pitiful this year and just declined and declined, and I've let it die under there. And so this whole space, all in here, it gets about half a day sun, maybe even a quarter of a day of sun, before these giant trees, the shade, becomes over this area. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I've got a Texas rock rose that's been a little iffy here. This is my least beautiful one, but I would like to have more. And so I might even put a second one in here. I think that rose is very unhappy. I've got a, right out here in the middle is a porterweed. I moved a porterweed, and that was just came up. Obviously, a little bit of the root was still there, so that popped back up. And then in the very back here, I've got a dwarf Barbados cherry. I'm gonna go see if there's an actual cherry. I think I see one. But all of this is gonna get rethought, and I'm really gonna try to do just native Texas plants back here. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. So here's the flower. Isn't it sweet? And look at that. Here's a dwarf Barbados cherry there, and there's a little dried one right there. And oh, and here's another one right here. So I planted this because it's beautiful, because it's native, but because birds will eat that fruit. And so that's what we want. I'm interested in the ecology of this yard. This is the flower of the porterweed. And this one is about 3.5 feet tall. I think because it gets so much shade, it has not turned into the giant monster that the front yard ones have. And all my little succulent theater looks really sweet. And I did throw more bluebonnet seeds out here because I added about 2 inches of gravel, of granite, and kind of covered up anything that would have been self-seeded last year already here. So I went ahead and put some bluebonnet seeds that I had saved out here, and about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And look, I've got bluebonnet seedlings already all over the place. So that's awesome. That'll be really beautiful. And I am throwing Mexican hat seeds. They're just tiny little seeds, and I'm throwing them in here as well. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up in the spring. The roses have taken quite the hit in this heat. Back here, lots of lovely purple. That's all Mystic Spires, salvia, and then I've got this pink gomphrena. But I don't know if you can see on the video. See those little white dots right there? Those, I knew that is an enormous weed, but it's an aster. And I'm assuming, I haven't climbed back there, I'm assuming that it's a native aster, let's hope. And I have seen bees all over it, and so that's really fun that I let it stay. And then here, I don't know if you've seen my last couple of videos, I was having a real aphid problem on here, and I did a little video, a little short, calling the ladybugs, like the one that just landed on me a minute ago, the cleanup crew. And after about 2 weeks, I haven't seen any more aphids, and it's been just fine. And so I'm so happy that I didn't whack it all back. And then look back here. This is a volunteer. I did not plant this here. I probably just threw some seeds this direction. Look at that beautiful coneflower. Isn't that just fresh and wonderful? And then here's one of my favorite things. You see all the grasses have bloomed. I love these grasses, but their show for the fall is so pretty and so worth it. Hello, my little helper man. Hello. Scoot, scoot. And then blooming beautifully, this is Salvia leucantha, which is Mexican bush sage. And look how beautiful that purple is. It just looks wonderful. The shady side is just, holding its own. Some shrimp plants, not very exciting, but I did get my birthday flower pots with beautiful, fresh from the store. This is not skilled. This is bought it at the store. New begonia, dragon wing begonia. Look how pretty that looks. Lots of pretty pots going on. There's another one there that's a different color flower. And I think it's getting too much sun. You can see it's kind of getting burnt there. And I'm loving the kalanchoe in that pretty crusty pot. I love it. It's getting a little dark on me out here. This beautiful penta, always a good show. The beautiful penta. And some Salvia uliginosa, bright blue. Also called bog sage. If you're looking for it, you could ask for bog sage at your local nursery. Some more milkweed and some more seed pods. I can see that I missed, this is what I missed while I was gone. Seed pods popped out and flung their seeds everywhere while I was gone. Oh, okay. This is called bird pepper. Why can't I think of the name of it right now? It'll come to me. I'll put it in the description if it doesn't come to me. But you see the little red peppers? So this is called bird pepper because birds love to eat these little peppers. And then, of course, they poop the seeds around and it can spread. This is native to Texas. Chili Pekin, that's what it is. And the other day, just last night when I got home, I was over here watering and I saw this fluttering in the corner of my eye, and I thought it was maybe a hummingbird, but it wasn't. It was a full size, just a little bird, but a regular bird. And he came and tried to land on here, saw me, and flew away. But what that means is that I'm growing this for the birds. You can eat these. They're apparently very hot. You can eat them if you want, but I'm growing them as a food source for birds, and I'm so excited to report somebody found them. Now look at this. So if you remember from earlier videos, this pole was replaced after Hurricane Beryl this summer took out our utility pole. And so all of this, you can see back there, still don't have anything, but here, this was completely trashed. Nothing, no plants left at all. But I have been growing 4 o'clocks, which have gigantic seeds. Look at this giant seed. They have huge seeds, and of course the seeds drop as they will, and I'm sure the linemen and everybody who put this in trampled them all into the dirt. And so in pretty short order, scoot kitten, I don't want to step on you. In pretty short order, this has all come back from seed since about the 1st of August. And so I highly recommend if you need something, and it will grow in complete shade. I've got some way over here in the shade. Once you buy these seeds, you never have to get them again. And then things are looking pretty crusty. The summer was not kind to a lot of plants here in Houston. And so some things are looking pretty crusty out here. This is a pipe vine that I'm growing for pipe vine swallowtail butterfly caterpillars. And you can see, yikes, it looks pretty crusty. But then I've got some nice new velvety growth right there. And I'm letting it get on the fence over here. And my olive tree seems to have sort of flopped over while I was gone. So I'm trying to figure out how to support it back up. So more on that later. We'll see how that turns out. And the fire spike, ready for the hummingbirds. They may be already through with Houston, their migration to Mexico. Well, thanks for taking a look with me and seeing what has happened in my absence. And I know that one thing that happened for sure is that when we get out here, I'll show you the amount of little seedlings that have come up in my gravel. It's shocking. So I'm gonna get my little weed burner, and it's like a blowtorch on a stick, and I will burn all of these, and it will kill the roots, and then I'll have a nice clear walkway. And it's also extremely satisfying to set weeds on fire. I'll end on this little Blackfoot daisy. That's sweet. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.